All right, I'm here with Hall of Fame matchmaker, ex-manager Brad Goodman. Thank you so much for joining me, my brother.
Thanks, Joel. Appreciate it. You having me on.
Yeah, I just want to celebrate the job you guys been doing with the Dominicans, matching them right, promoting them right, bringing them to fight in New York. Top Rank, I want to say in the last year or so, been stepping up with the Dominicans and doing a great job. And I know you're a part of it, so I just want to say you guys been doing a great job.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we're very excited, and especially for Saturday with Rohan Polanco stepping up to a pretty tough task. But I'm confident that he'll come through with it, as well as Yan Santana.
Okay, well, and we definitely will get into those fights 100%. But I kind of want you to break down what is the job of a matchmaker?
The job is basically, grooming a guy from scratch and get him to a certain level where they're going to be competitive and hopefully win a world title. There's different parts of it. Certain guys are a little bit more advanced, where you can move them a little bit quicker than another guy. Mm-hmm. But that's what it really. Those are like really the details.
Oh, okay. And how do you get into it?
How did I get into it?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Anything back then that my cousin was interested in, whether it was football, baseball, basketball, even magic at one point he was into, I just followed whatever he did.
Okay.
Then he got into the boxing, and it was only a phase for a couple months. With me, it just stuck. And I remember, back in 1977, my father took me to the very first fight, was Ali Shavers in Madison Square Garden.
Wow. And
I fell in love with Ernie Shavers, who's actually my favorite fighter.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What was it about Shavers that made you his?
I don't know. I guess when you're young, like, colors attract and stuff. And I loved his trunks. The blue velour trunks with the white stripe and the pony sneakers, and that's what got me into it, really.
All right. So talk to me about your development into your relationship with Top Rank. When did you start that relationship, and how did it grow into you now becoming their main matchmaker?
Well, I was always into boxing, starting from 11 years of age. And back in '83, my father's friend was the lawyer of a guy by the name of Stan Hoffman, who happened to be Bob Arum's best friend at that time.
Really?
So I started in April of 1983. Mm-hmm. I was a completely lost kid. I just lost my mother.
Oh, man.
So I didn't really have any guidance. My father was already remarried to another lady who I didn't like at all. So I was living with my grandma, and boxing is what basically saved me, because I was so excited just to be at Top Rank and go to all the fights. I had the privilege when I was 17 years old, going to Atlantic City every other week.
Wow.
When we would do shows, and stay at resorts, and it was a great experience for a young kid.
So all right, you saying you were there when you were 16, 17?
17, yeah.
All right. What was your role for Top Rank?
Just when you first start out, I was
getting coffee.
I wouldn't go to that extreme, but running around the city, doing messenger, clerical work, collating papers.
Okay.
But Joel, the funny thing is, I was working with basically a guy, Irving Rudd, another Hall of Fame guy. He was our publicist. Mm-hmm. But I'd always end up, for some reason, in the matchmaking office. Even though it was the publicity department, and I wasn't a publicist or anything, but I just end up, in the matchmaker's office with Bruce Trampler, and the greatest matchmaker, in my opinion, that ever lived was Teddy Brenner, and then Bruce Trampler. And I just sat there. I kept my mouth shut. There was always fights coming up. They had like a blackboard, and I'd look at it and I'd just get excited. And I was a real big Kronk fan. The guys from Detroit with Tommy Hearns, Milton McCrory, and Emmanuel Stewart, rest his soul. He knew that I was a big fan, and he used to fly me out to Detroit every single month to go to those local shows.
All right, all right. Many people don't know, but you actually managed a Dominican, Murky Sosa. Was he your first fighter?
He was my first and last.
Really? So that's the only.
That's the only guy I ever did.
Okay. First, let's start out with the story. How did you discover Murky Sosa?
Jeez, I'm trying to think. Probably from the gyms. You know, he was working out at Tommy Gallagher's gym or something like that in Queens. I'm a Queens guy. So it probably started from there, and we we got a good relationship going. And even to this day, I still talk to him.
Oh,
he lives in Las Vegas, actually.
Yeah, what does he do out there? Do you know?
He works in the gyms, with some fighters and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
But I had some, great times with him.
Yeah. You got to get us in contact. I've never spoken to Murky.
Absolutely, I'll give you his number.
Yeah. Talk to me about Murky Sosa's career, man. That was one of the most exciting light heavyweights, regardless of how his record looked. BoxRec doesn't tell the full story. He was a very, very exciting fighter. Somebody who never avoided anybody, fought Roy Jones, fought all these fights. Talk to me about his career and why did it turn out the way it did, and what was his ups and downs?
Well, I'll tell you why his career ended the way it did was he took everything half-ass. He never trained 100%, whether it was Roy Jones, Michael Nunn, none of those guys. He just basically took everything for granted because he was a tough, rugged guy that can punch, and that's how he won the majority of his fights. If he took it serious, he would have been a terror, because at one point when he was fighting in Madison Square Garden, he was promoted with Madison Square Garden at first. He was like the best prospect that's come out of the Dominican Republic in years. He's knocking everybody out. But once you get to that next level, and the guys were a little bit more competent and a little bit more competitive, he didn't realize how important it was to get to that next level, because he was so used to beating guys just being half-ass Murky Sosa.
Yeah. It's funny, Roy Jones said that was the hardest puncher he ever faced, and he knocked him out in 2 rounds. His exact quote was, "Murky Sosa hit so hard, if he miss it hurt."
Yep.
So it's unfortunate that he didn't take the sport 100% serious, because the guy definitely had natural talent and power, and had the heart of a lion. It's unfortunate to hear. What can you give me any stories about Murky in terms of his relationship with the street guys, or any stories outside of the boxing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He was so powerful in the sense of his name. Anything that he wanted in the streets, whether it was in East New York or Washington Heights, he got anything he wanted. I'd ask him for certain things, and I'd get it,
Like what? Like what?
Car radios and things like that.
I got you.
But one story I can tell you was, they gave him a car, a BMW, that was under somebody's name who was deceased for about 10 years, right? And he's driving it around. Cops knew who he was. He'd go through stop signs, and they just let him go. It was unbelievable. Plus, he didn't really know how to drive. He didn't have a license, and he didn't even know how to parallel park or anything like that. Oh, and then I'll tell you another one. Another one was he the car wasn't working. It just died out.
Yeah.
And he took the fuses, in the hood of the car. Those fuses.
Yeah.
He took them all out and started shaking them. Right? And then put them back in, thinking like the car would work when they were supposed to be in the right places. He had no idea, but those are some good times, man.
That's hilarious. All right, well let's transition into current Dominican fighters. I know you guys been developing Rohan Polanco.
Sure.
Who does his development remind you of? Not necessarily style, but his development. It seems like every test you guys give him, he passes it with flying colors.
Yeah.
Does his development remind you of anybody?
Not really, but he's one of those guys that's like one of those old school fighters back in the 70s, 80s, guys that would fight anybody.
Yeah.
They don't turn anything down, They want a title fight. They wanted a title fight probably like 3 fights ago.
Yeah.
And I think he's ready. I'm very, very high on Rohan.
Yeah, they were. His camp was disappointed they couldn't get a title at 140. They were, it was tight for them to make the weight, but they wanted to hold on, win a belt at least there, and then move up.
Exactly.
They were really frustrated that they couldn't get the so.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I can understand their frustrations, but one, he's never made 140. Everything was always like 42, 43. And I remember when he fought Tariq Zana in Verona, New York.
Yes.
It was like, I want to say it was at 142, and he barely made it. He looked like he was going to pass out. And just to lose 2 more pounds to be 140, I think it would have killed him. I think unfortunately, he was an in-betweener between 40 and 47, but his best weight would have been at 147. Okay. And I don't know how much longer, Joel, that he's going to be there. He may go to 54. I mean, he struggled. I mean, look at him at the weigh-in, how dried out he is, and then he looks completely different on fight night. He puts about 30 pounds on.
30 pounds?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's not good because, going up and down, and when you're not fighting and you're 170, 180 pounds to lose that weight, it's not good. Eventually it takes its toll, but thank God, he's younger and he can get away with it right now.
Yeah. I feel he definitely looks better at 147. That I will say, especially at the weigh-ins.
Yeah.
I meant
much healthier.
Much healthier at the weigh-ins. Yeah. Who has turned down Rohan Polanco? Because from what I understand, he's trying to move up quick, and he's trying to challenge fighters who's been like, hey, listen, we don't want that fight.
Off the top of my head, I know one was Blair Cobbs. There was about 3 of them. We tried to get 3 guys, and all 3 of them turned it down, or I should say, overpriced themselves, which means they really don't want to fight.
Karen Chukazian, was he one of them?
He was a guy. Yep. The guy that fought Boots twice. Yep. He was one. It's Blair Cobbs, and there's somebody else.
Nicolas Flas.
Flas. Exactly. Nicolas Flas. They want, they wanted too much money, which to me, in reality, means they really don't want to fight. You know. Well, but with Flas, I can respect a little bit more because I think he's pretty highly rated.
He's ranked, I think, like number 8 on the WBO. I could find out.
Yeah, it's not that high, but the other guys like Blair Cobbs, he's living in a fantasy world, because he beat Adrian Broner.
Oh man,
nobody cares.
Nobody saw it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody saw it. Nobody cares, and nobody cares if he's inactive or active. Blair Cobbs, but he thinks he's a superstar in his own mind because he beat Adrian Broner.
Flas is ranked number 11 in the WBO, and Polanco's ranked number 7, which I know Polanco's going the WBO route. That's why I mentioned that ranking and not other.
And we were going to do it. We were going to do it for an eliminator, but they wanted too much money, and I want to say he fought Christian Gomez instead on a pro box show for much less money.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I don't think his promoter wanted the fight. I think.
Yeah, probably. And listen, Flas is a great kid.
He's a good guy.
I know him personally. Real good guy.
Did you guys ever have any kind of communication with Rashidi Ellis?
Oh yeah, that was another guy. Yeah, Jimmy Birchfield said, we need to do something with Rashidi. I said, you can fight Polanco. He says, let me know, and then never heard back from him. Despite what they say, but we absolutely can make the fight as long as the money's right and they don't overprice, because Polanco will fight whether it's for peanuts or whatever. He just wants to fight. He's a real fighter.
Okay, all right. Can you give me your thoughts on Yan Santana? He's fighting Aaron Alameda, who's 30-2.
Yeah,
literally has double the amount of fights he has. This is a guy who's fought Neary, who's fought Angelo Leo. He's fought some guys, and Yan Santana is a prospect still coming on the way up. Why match this guy so tough?
Well, one, he's capable of fighting tough guys, but he's one of those guys when we were talking about how you matchmake and stuff. He's an advanced guy, just like Polanco, so they can hold their own whether a guy has twice as many fights as them or not. And he has no problem. He's another guy that will fight anybody. No problems whatsoever.
All right. One of the things that there's been the stigma on Top Rank, and it's no longer the stigma, which I appreciate, is that, you know, when they would have a Dominican, they would take one loss and it would get released. Like, so Jonathan Guzman, that happened to him, Carlos Adames, Elvis Rodriguez, who's back with you guys.
Adames, I can never understand. You know, I mean, just because he lost one fight, and I like Carlos, I'm personal friends with him. I would have loved to kept him, but I don't make all those calls. It's the higher uppers, I guess, that do that.
Okay, and what about the situations with Elvis and Jonathan Guzman?
Elvis, I never understood. There was some misunderstanding at that point, but we always remained friends. You know, Ben, the manager, and all that. We always we love Elvis, and we were happy to bring him back.
Okay, all right.
And he's gonna be all right, Elvis. He lost, you know. It was a real close fight. Could have gone either way. But it doesn't hurt his credibility whatsoever. He's going to be back, and he's a great kid, Elvis.
All right. I was just about to ask what's next for Elvis, but there's a lot of things changing. This Saturday will be the last ESPN fight for Top Rank. What's next for Top Rank? What?
I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew. Honestly, I really don't know. Obviously, July 26th is the last show. Mm-hmm. I don't know when our new TV platform is going to begin or what it is. I have no idea, honestly. But what I do know is our fighters aren't going to have to worry. We can put them on other people's shows.
Yeah, I think, and I'm including you, I think you guys have a trick up your sleeve. I
don't, honestly.
No?
No, I'm not privy to those conversations.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm really not. I would say it, believe me.
Okay.
But I really don't know. And it could start. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it could start. It could start September, October. Could start January. I have no idea.
Yeah, I just I noticed all the signing of fighters. You guys have signed a lot of fighters within the last 6 to 8 months. I want to say you guys signed a lot of fighters, and knowing that the contract is looming to an end. I just have a feeling you guys know something.
I think they do. That's why I'm not nervous about it. I'm pretty optimistic, you know, that we're going to be fine. And matter of fact, I'm almost positive we're going to be fine. I mean, you can't count out a promotion that started in 1966.
Yeah,
they're not going to just throw in the white flag and say that's it.
Nah, I totally agree. I know you guys got something, and I'm not worried about my Dominicans who are signed over there.
Never worry.
You guys are good. You guys are good. I wanted to ask you, because, again, we mentioned there's a lot of things changing in boxing. One of the big changes is this guy, Turki Alalshikh. He's throwing these big cards with events with fighters from 4 or 5 different promotional companies.
Yeah.
He's paying big money. It almost seems like he's trying to take over boxing. What's your thoughts on him?
I mean, listen, I think he's doing a great job. One, you know, he's paying the fighters great. Mm-hmm. 2, he's putting on fights that everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
And to me, he's done a great job, you know, and I wish we can keep doing more business with him. I mean, we're doing Devin Haney and Brian Norman with him. We've done Jared Anderson. We're doing Abdullah Mason now. But, you know, hopefully, you know, he can give us a call and ask for one of our Dominican brothers, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. The 2 times the Dominican has fought on his card, I haven't liked his conduct. I've liked what he's done in general, but when Adames fought Shiraz in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, he won that fight easy, man.
Not only do I think he won the fight, controversial decisions happen. Of course, I'm upset at that, but when you see Turki in the other guy's corner telling him, hey, you're down by this, you need to win this many rounds, or whatever it was he says, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
And then the fight ends in a controversial decision, it makes you wonder. And had he just sat in his seat, we just would have said, hey, it was a bad decision, these judges, but when you're in the guy's corner, kind of looks suspicious.
Or if it was in the U.S., you know, or Dominican Republic, right?
Yeah. And then with Puello and Subriel Matias, which was an amazing fight. So immediately after the fight, Puello has a rematch clause. He brings Dalton Smith. He says, you got to fight him. Subriel tries to say he has a rematch clause. He goes, no, you're going to fight him in November. It's kind of like totally dismissing a contract, totally dismissing what Puello wants to do. So I haven't liked the conduct, how he's treated Dominicans, but in general in boxing, I think he's been a plus to boxing.
No question.
Yeah.
Great shows that he puts on.
He also is him in conjunction with Dana White. They're proposing something called the Muhammad Ali Revival Act, where they want basically to eliminate the rule that the promoter can't have his own championship and kind of take away some power away from the sanctioning bodies. You have any opinion on that?
I don't really know the full details of it, but I know that they wanted to make up their own organization or something like that and push the other, sanctioning bodies away and not pay sanctioning fees. But I really never really followed up on that.
Yeah, I'm on record for saying I think they're trying to introduce the fifth belt era.
Could be,
Yeah.
I think we have too many belts. I think we should just have one belt and one belt only, and one champion in each division.
Listen, I'm totally for that. And my friend Jose Corpus, are you familiar with him?
No,
he's an author. He wrote a book called The Four Belt Era, ERROR. And basically the premise of the book is that, we're fighting in the four belt era now, but what if the four belt era existed since the beginning of time? So he goes back in time and give guys titles for fights that were big fights, but it was the number 2 guy versus the number 3 guy. And what's his name? Sugar Ray Robinson ends up with 100 title defenses and that. Yeah. And it basically shows the ridiculousness of having so many champions. I forgot who's the exact person who had the quote. It was you got this world champion, that world champion, that world champion. It's how many worlds are they? You know?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but that's the game we got now. And I'm curious as to see what this league, what this thing Turkey has planned, how that fits into boxing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But that's another thing. When and where is it going to start? Or when is it going to begin,
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, for sure. Let's circle back into your career. You've had Xander Zayas since he was 16, 17?
Yeah, 16.
At 16 years old, and now this Saturday in Madison Square Garden, he will be fighting for a world title, and your fingerprints are all over his career.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that feeling as a matchmaker. You get a guy from 16, literally a kid, not even figuratively speaking, literally a kid, to now being an adult, headlining in Madison Square Garden and fighting for a world championship. Talk to me about that feeling.
It's a tremendous feeling, man. It's like having a child, a newborn child, and just caring for it all the way till it gets to college. You're the happiest parent in the world. Xander, and his team, they wanted to fight for a world title a year before that. Unfortunately, there was nothing that we were able to do. But now that it's a vacant title that Fondora gave up, he's fighting for it, and let's hope and pray that he wins this title, because he can be something really, really big.
Talk to me about his opponent, Jorge Garcia Perez. He's a tough guy.
Very tough guy.
This is a guy with a lot of experience. He's taken some losses, won a lot. He has power. Talk to me about this guy.
He's a very, very tough guy, and definitely Xander's toughest fight to date. Him fighting in New York is not going to bother him one bit. He's used to fighting on the road. He's fought in South Africa and other places, in the other guy's hometown, and not going to faze him at all. And he knows how important it is also. He fought and his last fight was a great fight. He beat Charles Conwell, who's, he's championship material, Charles Conwell.
Yeah, I was just going to bring it up. When he beat Charles Conwell, I was kind of surprised, Xander, that fight happened. I was like, oh, well.
Well, it only happened, you mean, with Xander and Garcia?
Yes.
Yeah, well, he was supposed to fight Fondora, but Fondora gave up that part of the title and just kept one part to fight Tim Tszyu again. Okay. So that's why the title became vacant.
All right.
But Xander was at the fight when Fondora fought Cordell Booker.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to fight, but he just gave up the title.
Wow. Okay. You think that was more of a business move, or that was he didn't want to fight Xander?
To be honest with you, I think it was a smarter move. I think it would have been a much tougher fight. Fondora is a A real tough guy, man. Hard guy to fight because of how tall he is.
Tall.
Good chin, despite him getting knocked out by Brian Mendoza. Still has great chin, powerful, goes both ways, lefty, righty. Hard guy to fight.
No, and fights, and for a tall guy, knows how to fight on the inside.
Oh, yeah,
a lot of tall guys that they don't know, but he definitely is good for that.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to ask you, as a matchmaker, you ever told the guy, like, hey, man, don't take this fight. This guy's tough. I know his record is this and that, and they still take the fight and they end up losing?
Yeah.
Do you have any stories on that?
I'm sure I do. I just can't think of it offhand right now. But, yeah, to be honest with you, I'll only give my opinion if they ask me my opinion, But if it's a situation where, they're fighting for a world title or something like that, or an elimination, or a fight that's really, really important, I may, go out of my way and say, hey, man, I think maybe we should wait a little bit or something like that. But I think on the whole, Joel, they listen to me.
Yeah, I mean, you're a Hall of Famer for a reason.
That doesn't mean anything, man.
Yeah.
I can't even get a ringside seat being a Hall of Famer.
Really?
Yeah.
They giving you trouble? Nah, come on, man. Talk to Broadway Joel. I got you next time. All right?
Yeah. You'll probably have a better seat than me on Saturday night.
We'll see. I'm expecting. I'm gonna be moving around a lot because so a lot of fans are from my channel are going to support Rohan and Jan Santana.
Good.
So they're gonna be in the stands, and I must have 20 messages saying, "Man, you gotta come to the crowd and take a picture with me and this and that." So
that's great.
I'm gonna push. I'm gonna be in the media, but I might have to go say hello and present the people. And something I always do at every fight I do. So every fight I go to is after the Dominican fights, I take him and I bring him to the fans with a Dominican.
That's great.
Every single time. There hasn't been one time I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know, and you can tell all your Dominican people, the concession stand, with the beer and the soda and all that, they're also selling Moria Soñando. Right?
You serious?
No.
Oh,
no.
You got me excited.
Nah. We'll just tell them that. There'll be more people coming.
Right? Just buy a ticket.
Exactly.
Once you're disappointed. No Moria Soñando, but you'll watch Rohan and Jan Santana.
Yeah. No, that's great though. I appreciate that you bringing them bringing up to the fans and stuff like that. That's great.
Yeah. Because a lot of times I felt with Dominicans on the come up, they don't sell tickets and then that and this. It's the promoters didn't know how to promote a Dominican. Like it's just, they're not showing up. And I'm not even gonna mention his name, but I've had promoters on my show and they tell me that and I go, all right, so what did you do to promote directly to the Dominican market? And they never have an answer.
Yeah.
So I just kind of took it upon myself of just any little thing I can do. Just after a fight, bringing him to the fans and having him take pictures and giving people that experience, and now they're more motivated to buy a ticket. Or if there's an event, me letting them know, hey, man, I think you should go there because there's going to be a lot of crowd, bring the belt and all this and all that. So, the Dominicans now, they have like a big brother now.
That's great.
I'm older than all of them,
yeah,
including Adames and Hector Luis Garcia. I'm older than all of the current ones right now. So they all kind of look at me kind of like big brother, kind of like when I give them advice, they listen. And so far it's been going good for them. A lot of them appreciate, how being on my platform or sometimes me giving them advice, they've gained traction or whatever. They learned, met people, networked, and or sometimes made sponsors just off things hey, man, I think you should go do that. I think you should go do this. So it's exciting to see how you guys been doing a great job on social media.
A lot of it has to do with you, though, man.
Yeah,
honestly,
you think so?
No, there's no question. Like you said, bringing them up to the stands and talking and mingling with them and stuff. Fans are so important. And once they start supporting you, it's like a domino effect. Mm-hmm. That person and then that person and that person. It only gets bigger.
Who's the most talented fighter you had, but just wasn't a draw, just wasn't a ticket seller, but you're like, man, this guy's really good. This guy, if he had more support, we would be able to.
Dominican or just any fighter?
Just any fighter. Want to circle back to that one?
Let's circle back. It's in a register in my head.
All right,
I'll think of somebody.
In the meanwhile, I'll ask you, who was the fighter that was most difficult to match? One in terms of people turning down the fight, and one in them always turning down the fight and always saying, "Oh, I want to fight a southpaw. I want to fight in Vegas." Or no, I don't want. This guy's too tall. This guy's too short. So, who was the most toughest to find a fight just because he's so good, and who was the most picky?
Jeez, man. And it's such an easy question, but it's so many years and so many people, man.
You can name one or two.
Yeah. I mean, right now, right off the top of my head, the easiest guy to match is probably Rohan.
Because he accepts anything.
Yeah. Keyshawn Davis is another guy. Will fight anybody. Shakur Stevenson, when we had him, fight anybody. I'm trying to, I mean, listen, there's probably a lot of guys that are a little bit picky, that don't want to fight certain guys. I can't think off the top of my head, but it's gonna come back, and I'll think of something.
Okay.
But before I forget, I want to bring back something.
Okay.
Murky Sosa,
Yeah.
Joan Guzman and Johnny Nolasco. Do you remember Jonathan Nolasco?
Of course.
You know who their manager was Murky Sosa.
Really?
Yeah. Nobody knew that. Then obviously I think Frank Warren took Guzman.
Yes.
And then Nolasco left, but he was the original guy.
Okay.
Murky.
All right. I have a couple super chats. I'll read them. One is just a comment to me, and the other one is a question for you. This is Juan de lo Mio, who sends $2. I appreciate you. He says, how you interviewing Goodman and not tell no one? Well, you know now. He also sends another $2. I appreciate you. He says, Edwin and Top Rank could be the future relationship. Could there be a future relationship there?
Absolutely.
Is that
absolutely? I'm not going to say anything, but listen, there's definite interest.
Okay.
And he was a complete gentleman throughout that whole time in Norfolk, Virginia. Was not his fault at all, and he was a pleasure to be with.
Well, all right, talk to me. Since we got there, talk to me about that moment of you guys got the mayor at the press conference at the weigh-in. You guys sold out the place. It's a packed house. The city's excited. Just a good turnout, a good vibe, just in the whole build-up to it. And then this guy misses weight by 4 pounds.
Yeah.
Refuses to go lose weight. Doesn't agree to a rehydration clause. The fight falls apart. Talk to me from point A to point Z. What was your guys' reaction to that?
We were shocked just like everybody else because we didn't really know until right before the weigh-in. We knew the night before that he was only supposedly 2 pounds over. That's what he said, 2 pounds over.
37.
Yeah. And then I heard he realized that he couldn't make the weight anymore, so he drank a little bit water. And even right before the weigh-in, before he even stepped on his scale, he was supposedly only 2 pounds over. But it turned out that he was 4 pounds over. We were all in shock. We didn't know anything about anything until the minute he stepped on the scale.
Yeah, that was a big blow, and I would assume a financial blow because you guys gave the opportunity for fans to refund their tickets. What is there going to be any kind of punishment, any kind of carefulness you doing now when you're matching Keyshawn Davis? Like, what's the next step? I don't.
Listen, I mean, all these guys, when they come to the hotel, whether it's a week prior or 3 or 4 days before, they have access to a scale to monitor their weight. Whether Keyshawn did that or not, I have no idea. Maybe he had his own scale. But we, as Top Rank, we have the official scale. So everybody has access to step on that scale and see what they weigh.
Yeah. And you ever seen something like that? A big fight like that sold out at one of the main events, especially
Never.
the A side?
Never.
Yeah.
Never. I seen guys that come in, and like nothing's wrong, and they step on a scale and they're 20 pounds over.
Oh,
I seen that, and then they look around and like, oh, that can't be. And they knew it. They just want to be there on a vacation, get their per diem money, eat food, walk around the city and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, now he's they stripped him because he missed weight. We don't know what's his next move because Top Rank.
He's probably going to go to 140. That's
Okay.
where he's best suited right now. I think the last couple fights he was struggling to make weight. Hopefully, if we do anything with Edwin or something, maybe he fits in that picture to fight for a vacant title because I think he's very, very capable of winning a title.
Yeah. And if Keyshawn moves up, we got Elvis Rodriguez for him, but that's a good fight. And also, you got Abdullah Mason fighting for that vacant belt.
Yep.
Abdullah Mason, talk to me about him. He's another one. You guys got him as a baby.
Yeah.
And now he's graduating to a title fight.
All these guys, all these young kids, man, right from scratch, man, fighting. The coincidental thing about this whole thing is everything is a vacant, a vacant title. I think to me, it means a little bit more when you beat that champion as opposed to having a vacant title. It just feels a little bit better. Not saying they're taking any credibility or their ability away from anything, but I think it means a little bit more.
I agree, but once you get a couple defenses or you unify, that kind of goes null and void. But I agree with that comment for sure. What fighter that you took from point A to point Z that you're most proud of your work? You go, wow. With Cotto, with De La Hoya, with
Cotto's definitely one of them.
Okay.
Mikey Garcia.
Oh, that guy was great.
Crawford, we got, we didn't get from scratch. I want to say he maybe had about like 6 or 7 fights prior. He was fighting for another promotion, but him, it's not one specific guy. It's just in general, it just makes you feel good when you get a guy. It's like having like a baby and watching it grow.
Yeah. Well, one of the things about Top Rank is like you guys are the best at developing stars. So like De La Hoya was with you guys, Mayweather was with you guys.
Yeah.
I know Pacquiao didn't start with you guys, but in terms of like big fights, he was with you guys. And it just seems like once these guys get to a certain level, they go, all right, Top Rank, thank you so much.
Exactly.
And go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I have no idea, man. That's a great question. But, the funny thing is, they brag, on how big Mayweather and Pacquiao was. Oh, did the best, the most pay. Yeah, it was all because of what Top Rank did, how they built both guys, into that superstardom type kind of fight.
Talk to me about Oscar De La Hoya and because he was just a superstar back in the 90s and early 2000s. What was that experience like?
It was good. Oscar's a good guy, man.
You ever seen any crazy stuff with him? Because
I've heard rumors, and I've never seen anything.
All right. What's the wildest thing you've seen in boxing?
Oh, jeez, man. Believe it or not, probably the craziest thing, it wasn't a Top Rank show. It was in Madison Square Garden when Riddick Bowe fought Andrew Galata.
Oh man,
the riot, and it was like a wave, when the people were just like, I mean, it was really, really scary, and a lot of people got hurt. I don't know if anybody got killed or anything, but there were plenty of people that got hurt and ended up in hospitals.
Yeah, Lou Duva. You
yeah.
remember they had to take him out on a stretcher, like he was really bad. And this was New York in the 90s, and I know people maybe have a different perception of New York. I'm from New York, born and raised, so I have the concept of New York in the 90s and New York now. This was back when things were very, very serious, and a riot like that could have easily turned over something way bigger than it was. And believe it or not, it was big then, but it could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely.
That was a scary moment. I interviewed Jim Lampley, and he told me about that situation, how he had given his daughter some tickets to the fight, and because she wanted to go see, Riddick Bowe. Maybe she was a fan. I forget the exact story, why she wanted to go to the fight. And he gave her some tickets, and he's announcing, and it's not till the end of his monologue that he goes, well, now I have to go search for my daughter. And he had to go search for his daughter. It took him a while, and then he ended up finding she was okay.
Thank God.
That definitely was. I didn't watch it live, but that's something that I could imagine. It was a crazy thing to see.
Yeah, there was another one also, Joel. in Tijuana, I had a kid, Bobby Boy Velardes. He fought Eric Morales' brother, Diego Morales. And our guy won on a disqualification because his trainer, Morales' trainer, stepped in and got on the ring apron before the bell rang,
Okay.
you know, to end the round.
Yeah.
So they disqualified him, and thank God to the IBF and Daryl Peoples. He stood up and disqualified the guy. But there was a riot. They were throwing beer bottles, glass bottles at us in the ring and stuff. Yeah. Somehow we got out into the dressing room, and they were all waiting for us outside. So we had to go through a little small window in a bathroom in the back to just get out. Yeah, and somebody picked us up over there. That was very scary.
Yeah, I can imagine. My father, he had a couple fighters fight in Dominican Republic, and Curtis Stevens was the main event. My father helped him get a fight over there. It was for like one of those little titles, WBA, WBC, I forget which one. And he stops the guy, I think, in the second round. It was a bit of an early stoppage. I will say that. But what ensued was a riot of people throwing chairs, and I think Curtis Stevens got cut with a chair in his forehead. It got really scary, and luckily these guys, nobody got seriously hurt. But that was some. I think Algeria either was there or was on the card. I don't remember. I wasn't there present, but I remember when it happened and seeing it on the internet and going, "What the hell's going on?" Boxing, you get. It can go. You can go and it can have a great time, but certain things
You just never know.
You just never know. Never know. It's kind of like Teofimo. He's someone who I've had on here in the studio. When he talks, you just never know either.
He just tells it like it is, man.
Yeah. How's your relationship with him? And
very good.
Yeah?
Very good. He's a great kid. Him, his dad, and his family is good. You know.
Yeah, he's just I don't know how would I say he's very controversial. You guys ever talk to him?
Yeah, you know, I mean, a lot of it, you know, he portrays that, you know, to make believe he's a little wacky and stuff. But, you know, when you're one-on-one with him, he's a great kid. And he has a ton of ability.
Okay. Yeah, no, his talent is for sure. I honestly think he already has an argument to be a Hall of Famer.
Sure.
He was linear at 135, linear at 140. You know, I think just that alone, especially at his age, is very, very impressive.
Oh, he'll definitely be a Hall of Famer, no question.
All right.
I'll be voting for him.
You have a vote?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're allowed. You know, once you're in it. You know.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I didn't know that.
I'm happy that one of my guys, Ivan Calderon, another guy that.
Yes.
Yeah, I was happy that he got in. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to me about. I'm glad you brought it up. Talk to me about that feeling of being like, I'm a Hall of Famer, man.
To me, it's just another. I don't even wear my ring. I wear my marriage ring, but I don't even know where it is, man. I lost it, maybe. I don't know.
Oh man, don't tell me.
But no, it's. I'm privileged. I'm blessed. But like I said, I say to everybody, I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for my boss, Bruce Trampler, who I work with, and he gave me the opportunity of a lifetime. You know, to be the person I am. So if I succeeded, it's all because of him. And if I failed, it would have been because of me. I put in my work, but without him giving me that opportunity, man, I wouldn't be here anywhere.
Man, all right. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, last question, and then I'll let you go. Bob Arum is 90... something I don't even know.
94. I think he's going to be 94 in November or something, or October.
Yeah. All right. So let's just 94. Maybe we're off a year or two, but 94. Eventually, he's human. He's gonna, go. What's gonna happen with Top Rank?
Good question. I don't know. I think with all the people there, Todd DeBuff, very, very intelligent and hard worker. Brad Jacobs, Carl Moretti, Jeremy. Kogel, all those guys. I mean, they're top-notch businessmen. They know what to do.
Okay.
Nobody can ever be a Bob Arum. He's an icon
for sure.
But we're gonna be all right.
All right. So I can expect the same kind of development, the same quality of shows, everything like that. Once he's passed away.
I believe so. Yes.
Man, that's great to hear. But Brad, thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate you
I
coming.
appreciate you.
Yeah, hopefully this isn't the last time we do it.
Yeah,
You know?
I would love to do it more often. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anytime you're in New York, there's a pit stop you got to make.
You got it, my man. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. Guys, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. This helps the visibility of the channel. Share it to all your friends, and hopefully you guys got something out of it. All right, guys, until next time, peace.